Hey everybody, Adam Davidson, RadCast. For Monday, October 9, 2023, listen to this story from the Gospel of Luke. Luke chapter 8, verse 40 and following. Now, when Jesus returned, a crowd welcomed him, for they were all expecting him. Then a man named Jairus, a synagogue leader, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come to his house because his only daughter, a girl of about 12, was dying. As Jesus was on his way, the crowds almost crushed him, and a woman was there who had been subject to bleeding for 12 years, but no one could heal her. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak, and immediately her bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. When they all denied it, Peter said, "Master, the people are crowding and pressing against you." But Jesus said, "Someone touched me. I know that power has gone out from me." And then the woman, seeing that she could not go unnoticed, came trembling and fell at his feet. In the presence of all the people, she told why she had touched him and how she had been instantly healed. Then he said to her, "Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace." And that's the word of the Lord. Super fast. Number one, crowds were always expecting and excited about the arrival of Jesus because, yes, he healed people and because he taught things that were kind of counter to what they were hearing in the religious circles. But most importantly, they were drawn to the fact that he was very different from anybody else. He was the light of the world, that he had this magnetic draw, and he still does today. I think people are still drawn to Jesus. They're maybe a little turned off by Christians and perhaps limited in their own expectations because of the things that they understood or understand about Jesus, which is kind of a twisted version of what he is in the gospel. But really, I mean, you and I should always be excited about the presence and the power of Jesus, pressing in, surrounding him, wanting to be a part of what he's doing. Well, the crowds were like this as well. Well, this one woman who had been dealing with this medical issue for way too long and had found no resolution said, I need to be part of this. And so she's part of that crowd. She's pressing in, getting into the inner circle through this entire crowd, and manages just to touch his garment. She believed that if she could have this kind of contact, this physical contact with Jesus, that she would be healed. Well, it's strange. The response of Jesus is kind of weird. He goes, who touched me? And his disciples are like, everybody? You're surrounded. You can't not touch people here. And he said, no, that was different. There was some sort of a flow of like power that went from me to her. Jesus says, I know that power has gone out from me. And he stops the whole proceeding, and Jesus basically says, all right, stop, hold on. We need to know who that was. The woman is hiding. She's afraid she's in trouble. Finally, she comes out because there's no denying it. And she says, yeah, it was me. And he says, your faith has healed you. Go in peace. And yes, she was healed. And that's an amazing story. But isn't it fascinating that Jesus has power that is endless, but still he notices when it leaves him and it goes and does something that when you and I have endless things, like when Cameron asks for a quarter for a gumball machine, he'll say, Daddy, do you have the money? Sometimes I'll say, no, I don't have the money. Not because I don't have a bunch of quarters in the center console of my truck, but because I don't want him to buy a gumball. So in my mind, I don't have money budgeted for that. But in Cameron's mind, he's like, oh my goodness, my dad doesn't even have a quarter. I need to get a job to help pay for things. Well, he doesn't need to do that. So we have these things in our house. I mean, there's probably stuff in your garage or your basement that if it went missing, you wouldn't even notice, right? Maybe even until the day you moved, you wouldn't even notice or think about it until you saw it again. You go, oh, I forgot I had that, whatever, quilt or whatever. For Jesus, his power is endless, but he still keeps track of it. Like he's still interested in where his power is going. So the question I'm asking myself today is, okay, am I pressing into Jesus like that? And do I have the kind of faith where if I'm just even near him, that I will have what I need, not just to survive, but to thrive? And when that happens, will Jesus say of me, my power went through to Adam today. And he took that, and now he's going to go and do stuff that he couldn't have done otherwise. It's endless, but noticeably gone. I don't notice when things are gone. The boys take my clothes all the time. I don't notice that I'm missing my fourth, or fifth belt until Malachi's like, oh yeah, I took it and it's in my room, or it's holding up the muffler on the mower or something like that. Jesus has endless power, but he knows. So that's the question for today. Would Jesus say of you, yes, my power, which is endless, has gone to you, and now you're going to do something with it? That really is, for us, the responsibility as followers of Jesus, is to seek him out, to press in, to find that power, to be in contact with Jesus, and to believe that his power flowing through us is the thing that will make all things well. This is what it is to follow Jesus. His power is endless, but he should notice when you and I are living in that power, and ultimately it should please him. That's RadCast.